People in their 20s, 30s, and 40s face unique financial challenges, and U.S. News and World Report columnist Kimberly Palmer offers them targeted advice in her new book, Generation Earn. Hi, Kimberly. Thanks for being with us.
Hi, Jill. Thank you.
So, you call these people the new young professionals. What's so new about them? I was young and a professional once. What's new about them?
Well, a lot has changed. For starters, we've gone through 2 big recessions in the last 10 years. That has really made an impact on people. It's made us want to be much more conservative with our money. We value financial security more than ever. And we also want to support our families and figure out ways to give back at the same time.
These people have often been called generation debt. Now, what do you think about that? Is that fair, or is it an unfair way to paint them?
I don't think it is fair. It actually really frustrates me that generation debt is used so much, because it's true, we do have more debt in a lot of ways. We use credit cards, we take out more student loan debt, but that is just a small part of who we are. And we don't want to just focus on debt. We want to focus on the positive side of what we can do with money. So that's why I feel like it's more productive to talk about the other things, how we can earn more, how we can become financially secure.
And one of the ways you do that is you sort of bring into these like general financial planning concepts that you apply to this group specifically. And let's start with kind of the tried and true, track your expenses. Why is that so important?
Well, a lot of people just first of all, don't realize where their money is going. And the reason that's a problem is because then you might be spending money on things that aren't your priorities. And so if you really take a close look and figure out where your money is going, you can reorder it so it is being spent on the things that make you happy so you can reach your goals.
Now, when I was a planner, we would always talk about monthly. But you say, no, annual. Why annual versus monthly when it comes to either tracking expenses or building your budget?
Well, there's been some really interesting research that's actually come out lately that shows that if you look at your monthly expenses, then you forget some of those big unexpected costs and also some annual costs like holiday gifts, for example. So if you look long term at the entire year, you're more likely to leave some wiggle room and not be so surprised by expenses.
You also draw a line in the sand at a very funny number. $100. You say, if you're going to spend more than $100, what do I have to do? What is it that you want me to do if I'm going to spend more than $100?
If you're going to spend more than $100, I say you should really do some hardcore price comparison shopping before you actually spend that much money, because there's going to be deals out there. You don't have to actually waste your money by spending more than you have to.
Wait a minute, $100 though, that seems so little. Like that really is going to put so much pressure. Like really 100, should it be a bigger number as you make more money or not?
Maybe. Well, you know what it really depends most on is where you can get the deals. If you look at the price comparison sites right now, places like Price Grabber, you can find the biggest deals when there's more money at stake. And so $100 is something that I just found when it's over $100, things like televisions or iPods, you can often find a better deal if you do some research first.
Now, all right, the other thing about being young and green is that you tend to like to do stuff versus save for the future. So what tips can you offer people and the parents of these people? Like, how can we get them to delay gratification and really start saving for the future, whether it's retirement or maybe saving for a home in the future? What are the ways that people can get out of their own way?
Well, I mean, you're right. Saving is so important. I say we should be saving a quarter of our income at least, and it's hard to get to that. So I think it helps to start, first of all, by starting small. So many of the people I interviewed in the book actually had so much success by starting just saving 2% of their income. One woman started with 2% of her income. Now she saved $100,000 just by slowly increasing it.
That's great. 100 grand, 2% at a time?
Well, she started with 2%, and then she raised it to 4%, and now she's saving something like 20% of her income. So if you do it in small increments, it can be easier.
One thing that I was kind of interested in is that you say this generation is actually a little bit more socially aware. So when it comes to the investment side, there is this idea that you want to kind of invest in companies you feel good about. What can you do if you want to be socially responsible, you want to be an investor? How do you marry those two concepts?
Well, first of all, for most people who don't want to do the research, you should just stick with the basics. Look for something like an index fund that you don't have to think about and be rearranging all the time. Some people do really care that their investments do reflect their broader values. And luckily, there's been changes in the investment field. So usually with something like a 401k, you can pick socially responsible funds that have been pre-screened. So you can feel like when you're putting your money into them, they are reflecting some of those values that you have.
So before we go, your last bit of advice, if you really are looking at this young age group, this, what do you say, the emerging professional group, what do you think is the one thing that they really do wrong? What is the thing they should watch out for? What's the landmine?
Well, I think that the biggest thing is that we are being so frugal in so many different ways right now, but what we cannot forget is that you have to invest in yourself. You can't scrimp too much when you're thinking about your career. So whether that means hiring a career coach if you're really in a rut, maybe even going back to school if that's what will work for you. But whatever your dream is, if you want to go into business for yourself, don't be too frugal when it comes to your career, your goals, because that's what will enable you to earn more money down the line, and really that's what will make you happy to reach those goals.
Oh, excellent advice. Kimberly Palmer, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching.